Yes, sir, stream. Yes, sir. Let me go ahead and let a little light in the building. Let a little light in the building. Ooh, I'm trying to be on my engraving vids real quick. Trying to get the lighting right. Trying to get on my engraving vids. Yes, sir. I know. I should have did this before. I know. I should have did this before. We good. We good. Woo! Yes, sir. Bill Belichick. He's at it again, y'all. He's at it again. I'm just pulling up, making sure I have everything that I need, contract-wise and stuff. Wrong one. As long as I have everything I need contract-wise, we should be good. Yeah, that should be it. How y'all doing today? Yes, sir. What's up, Alex? What's good? What's good? We're gonna do a little. I don't anticipate this to be too long, maybe 30 minutes. I try to keep my streams at around 30 minutes or so, just because one, I don't want to talk for more than 30 minutes, unless it's a lot more questions and stuff. But also, I know y'all got stuff to do, and then I'm also thinking post stream too. I don't want nobody to be watching like an hour live stream. But let's go ahead and get into this, man. What's up, YouTube? Your boy, the great picture head, DGP, back again with another episode, Patriot Keys. We got another stream for you guys, and in this stream, we are going to talk about what Bill Belichick is doing. We're going to talk about some of the moves that he's made since I made my last stream video. I thought about streaming yesterday for day 2 for free agency after a couple of moves, but by the time I was going to get around to it, I had some other stuff I had to take care of, some work stuff, IRL. And then after that, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to save it for the morning. And also in case there was some more breaking news. But there wasn't, so we're going to get into it right now. So when we left off, the major deals that we had was signing Matthew Judon and signing Jonnu Smith. Now, again, I love having Jonnu Smith. If you guys don't know how I feel about the whole Judon, Jonnu Smith, Jalen Mills as well, and who is it? Gacho, I think that's how you say his name, Devon, the defensive tackle, the nose tackle. Link down below in the description. But since then, we signed 2 wide receivers. We finally got the wide receiver position signing for agency. Is it Will Fuller? Is it Emmanuel Sanders? Those are some of the names that I listed. And it's neither of them. It's neither of them. It's Kendrick Bourne from the 49ers, and then it's Nelson Agholor. Now, if you know Nelson Agholor, if you've been on NFL Twitter, or if you just, know in general just what's going on, Nelson Agholor, he didn't have a good career in Philly. Had a little bit of resurgence last year in Oakland, and now he's in England. But the biggest news, though, the Patriots weren't done with Jonnu Smith. Jonnu Smith, Hunter Henry, those are the 2 top tight ends. They went out and got Hunter Henry as well. I thought we was just going to get Jonnu Smith. Hopefully we paid for Will Fuller, but these guys went out and got the top 2 tight ends on the free agent market, Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith, man. Hunter Henry's contract, as I pull it up right now, it is a 3-year, $37.5 million deal, which ranges about a little over $11 million per year, like on the average basis, with $25 million guaranteed. So not too bad of a contract when you look at the market value and you look at what's going on and everything. Then we got Henry Anderson, a cheap, defensive end, cheap deal. Carl Davis, defensive tackle, that's just a depth move, I should say. And then when you look at it more, Kendrick Bourne and Nelson Agholor. So those are the moves that we made. The biggest move is Hunter Henry. Let me go ahead and take a sip. And we're going to get into this. So the title of the video, what is Bill Belichick doing in free agency and how this is going to change for the rest of, I think, the NFL for years to come? I don't know about whenever the CBA is up, which I think is about in 2-3 years. I think for the next free agencies, it's going to change a little bit. So basically, what Bill Belichick is doing. First of all, let's talk about the Hunter Henry move. I love the Hunter Henry move. I didn't think we was going to get him after we got Jonnu, but I love what they're doing. They're basically going to go back to how we had with Rob Gronkowski and Aaron Hernandez. And we talked about this a little bit with Jonnu the other day on the stream. They're going to go to 2 tight end set, 22 personnel. And McDaniels, Belichick, they love that 22 personnel, man, especially controlling the middle of the field. When we had, Gronk and we had Aaron Hernandez, they were killing it. They controlled the middle of the field. He was able to run the football with Jarvis Green Ellis. We was able to control the seams, and then was able to throw it to the slot to Wes Welker and everything with them. According to Pat McAfee Show's podcast, Michael Lombardi, who was a part of the Patriots team, was very close with Bill Belichick, worked with him numerous times. He said after that 2004 season when they lost the Colts in the AFC Championship, they went to the Pro Bowl because back then if you lost in the conference championship you had to coach the Pro Bowl, which I wouldn't even want to coach no more after I lost the conference championship. But they went to the Pro Bowl and they went into a whole game plan mindset, and that's how they got Wes Welker. They said we got to start controlling the middle of the field. We got to get a slot person. That's how they was able to get Wes Welker. So Bill Belichick probably went into this season knowing, and I said this before, we're not going to be good. We're going to be a little bad. And then, he said this free agency, we're going to cash out. What's good? Let's go. I'm ready for the season. Yeah, man. I'm super excited for the season. Last year, I wasn't really too excited because I know what was going to happen. I knew we weren't going to be good. If follow the channel, follow the streams, I was saying, look, I think we should just tank for Lawrence. Just go 1-15, go 2-14. Just get Trevor Lawrence. You're going to have a lot of cap. You're going to have one of the most cap spaces in free agency. Go out, get some free agents, get that top pick, get Trevor Lawrence, you get your quarterback, and let's go. Now, although we didn't get the quarterback that I wanted, Trevor Lawrence, a guy to build for the future for the next 10 years or so potentially. We still have Cam Newton, who last year proved in flashes that he still has some of that MVP Cam in him, that he can be healthy. The only reason why he missed games last year was because of COVID, and again, that is out of his control. It's really nothing that you really can do about it. Again, make sure you stay safe. And wear your mask. Stay safe, wear your mask. But going back and look at what Belichick is doing, he basically said, all right, we're not that past team that we had with Brady. But when we got Cam Newton, we got a weapon who can run the football a lot. We got Damian Harris, who showed great flashes last year. I thought he had more yards and stuff than what he had when I looked it up. But, hey, he was a beast last year when we gave him touches and everything. Now, with the way the offensive line has worked, and that's kind of the question mark right now, is what we're going to do at center. But, look, we got – we got 4 of the 5 positions. We got the left tackle, the left guard, we got the right guard, we got the right tackle, all solidified for next year. We're just trying to figure out what we're going to do with that center position. Is that going to be David Andrews coming back? Although he's probably going to sign a contract today, and I will talk about that David Andrews thing. Patriots going hard for it. Yeah, man, they're going hard. And now, Cam Newton has weapons now. So again, like I said before, Cam Newton was at his best with what? When he had Greg Olsen. When he had that tight end, control the middle of the field. Now he has Jonnu. Now he has Hunter Henry. We added Nelson Aguilar, who can be a little bit of the X receiver. Kendrick Bourne, who can be the slot guy. You still have Julian Edelman coming back. Jacoby Myers, him and Cam has some rapport right there. So, none of these guys, the tight ends, Jonnu, I would consider him potentially top 5. He's probably like that 5-6-ish range a little bit. Hunter Henry, he's been injury prone the last couple of years, but Hunter Henry healthy is pretty good. He's a top 10 tight end. It's a pretty solid tight end. So you got some weapons right there. And then hopefully the receivers can get a little bit better. Now, we're going to be a run-heavy team. Like I said before, we're going to be a run-heavy team, but we're going to be able to go to that 22 personnel, play action. You don't know if you're going to have Hunter Henry up the scenes. You don't know if you're going to have Jonnu up the scenes. You don't know if Jonnu's going to come out in the backfield and, a little bit of a tight end reverse in that aspect. So what Belichick is doing now inside these free agents is basically, I equate it to like Cyber Monday, Black Friday. The cap is lower than what people were projected, but people knew the cap was going to be lower back a year ago in July. So that's on the planning of these franchises and these teams to plan for it. So we was already scheduled to have a lot of cap this season, and with the cap being lower than what it was, it's basically a fire sale. Look at the wide receiver market right now. The top wide receivers, they're not getting deals that we thought that they would get. Just because, we got some guys in the draft, Jalen Waddle, who I hope we draft, Jamar Chase, who I hope that we can draft, Devontae Smith. You got some guys coming out in the draft in the top picks and everything. And with the cap being lower than what it normally is, wide receivers aren't the premium right now. They're like, look, we need to get left tackles. We need to get, some quarterbacks. Even the quarterback market is lower than it is. Ryan Fitzpatrick signed for 1 year, $10 million, which you might say is a lot for him. But if you look at the way the quarterback market typically has been, like especially for a guy like Ryan Fitzpatrick, he's getting about $14 million a year. Cam Newton is only getting $5 million a year, guaranteed $5 million this year, guaranteed. He can make up to $14 million, but he got to win MVP. He got to win a Super Bowl. He got to be Super Bowl MVP. Like, he can get up to like $9 million in incentives, but he's really only making $5 million, which isn't a lot. It's not much. The Bills signed Emmanuel Sanders, Patriots trying to sign Fournette. Do you think that will happen? So let's talk about that real quick. So I think the position that we have to get now in free agency is running back. Now, there are a lot of running backs out there. Like James said, we got Leonard Fournette out there. Chris Carson available. I think Phillip Lindsay. I don't know if he got signed or not. I think he might have got signed, but Phillip Lindsay was available and stuff like that. Do I think we're going to get Leonard Fournette? Potentially. It depends on how much money we're going to throw his way. We have Damian Harris. Unless we want to run like that 2 running back combo set where Fournette is not really the starter, then we'll sign him back. But I don't think we're going to sign Fournette just because I think he wants to either break the bank. And I think if the money is around the same, I think he'll end up going back to Tampa Bay. Potentially. But I think Fournette wants to be like the feature back because, he had an issue with that in Tampa. And then Bruce Arians was like, just wait your time, wait your turn. And then he became the feature back in the playoffs when Ronald Jones was still a little banged up and stuff. And Fournette was the better pass catcher. So he was able to play with that. I don't think we're going to get Fournette. If we do, it'll be cheap. But I think if it's cheap, he might end up going back to Tampa. That's just my personal preference. But back to the question at hand with what we're doing with this fire sale and everything. We have all this cap. And, the cap is lower than before. And Belichick's basically like, you know what? It's a fire sale. Guys are cheap. Jonnu Smith, he probably in a normal cap year probably gets $10 to $15 million more in his contract. Judon probably gets $15 to $20 million more on his contract. Shaq Barrett, let's just use an example. He got $75 million for the Bucks in a normal season. He definitely gets $100 million in total in his contract. He gets about $30 million more. So, Belichick has all this cap, and he's just doing what Belichick does. We are paying for these free agents, but when the cap goes up in a year or so with this TV money, these contracts ain't going to mean nothing. That's why you see a lot of contracts with avoidable years. All these contracts you're signing now too, they're really like 2-year deals because all the guaranteed money is tied up in the first 2 years, which is a lot of NFL contracts. But if you're going to look at how the cap is going to increase, like paying $11-12 million for Jonnu Smith in about 2-3 years, you're going to look at that and be like, that's chump change. That's a borderline starting tight end money right there. Like he's going to make that money right there. Brandon Bolden, he's a special team guy. He's a special teams player. Ain't a running back like that. He can come in spurts, but he knows his role. He'll play it well. So it is what it is with Brandon Bolden. But I'm excited about this. The one position that I think we need. I said 2. The one I said running back, but right now I think the focus should be on the center. Are we going to get David Andrews or not? We had a situation a couple years ago with Dante Hightower when he was going through his contract thing. We was talking with Andrews. We tried to get a contract going with Hightower, I should say. And then Hightower said, you know what? I'm going to go to free agency. I'm going to see what the market's like. And then I'll come back and, we'll see. I basically give you an opportunity to match it, depending on what I can do. All right, we let him go. It was a couple teams. The Steelers were looking at him. The Jets offered him a lot more money. And then he ended up coming back to New England for less. So maybe David Andrews, looks at the market. Teams potentially want him. And maybe he says, you know what? I'll probably just stay in New England, whether it's the same money at a different team or if it's like a little bit more money. But he's like, I already know the Patriot system and all that stuff. We're going to run it back with them. So hopefully we can get David Andrews back. But if we don't get David Andrews, the Oakland Raiders, they've been releasing offensive linemen. They traded us Trent Brown. Rodney Hudson is a dog. He's 32 years old. And yes, people are going to say 32 years old. That's old for these guys. But offensive linemen can play till like 36, 37 at an elite level. Look at Andrew Whitworth. Unless they get hurt. If they get hurt, then injuries play a factor in that. But like offensive linemen that are healthy can stay and play at an elite level. And Rodney Hudson's been playing at an elite level since he came into the league. So if we don't get David Andrews, Hudson probably wants to go to a contending team. But if we can somehow convince him to come to New England for a year or so, say, hey, Trent Brown, I know you and him played with each other last year. Y'all was cool, run it back again. So if we're able to get Rodney Hudson, I would love that. But I think the number one focus should be David Andrews. And with the signings of Smith and John, I don't think Kyle Rudolph picked up. Yeah, and see, that's the thing. I thought we would get Kyle Rudolph instead of Hunter Henry because we paid John Smith already. But the fact that they went out and paid Hunter Henry even more, well, not even more, but they went out and paid Hunter Henry. I was like, okay, so they're serious about this tight end. The past 2 years, that's been the biggest thing since Gronk retired. We don't have no tight ends. Like, the middle of the field is trash. And Belichick made sure, like, all right, John will get hurt, Hunter Henry get hurt. Look, we won't have a tight end. One of these guys should be on the field at all times. And so I'm really excited about John. Hunter Henry is cool. I like Hunter Henry. It's just he's been injury prone. But I think with him being a number 2 tight end, maybe he doesn't have to play as many snaps. Maybe he's not taking as many hits as he did before. And maybe he can get his legs underneath him and stuff. So I like the 2 tight end set. But yeah, just what Bill Belichick's doing, basically having a fire sale. Black Friday is like, you know what? I got all this money. Imagine you having $500 on Black Friday. TVs, $75. You know what I'm saying? You got phones, $200. That's normally $500. And so you're just like, oh, you're splurging a little bit, but you're just getting them on discounted prices. And that's what Bill Belichick's doing. He's getting them on discounted prices. And I love him for that. What you think? I love it. I love what you think we would do with Henry? With Harry? Harry at this point, I'm like 60% chance. If I put a percentage on it, 65% chance he gets traded. They might not trade him just because, he's a first-round pick 2 years ago. Do you want to trade your investment already? Because if you're trading, you're proving that you messed up on that pick already. But Nelson Aguilar is going to go over there and fight for that X position spot. So, I mean, do you give him a chance? Because if N'Keal Harry doesn't beat out Nelson Aguilar, but you're paying Aguilar that much money, it's like, it's not that much. But I think N'Keal Harry potentially gets traded, but it'll be a draft day trade. I think N'Keal Harry will get traded on draft day, maybe like a day 2 trade. If a team doesn't able to get one of the receivers they want, the first round or so, I think a day 2 he'll get traded. So I'll say 65% chance N'Keal Harry gets traded because you're paying Nelson Aguilar $11 million. You still got Jacoby Myers, you got Julian Edelman in the slot, Kendrick Bourne going to be in the slot too. That's 4 wide receivers that I will put ahead of N'Keal Harry right now on the depth chart. And so you might just want to cut bait with him, and he may need a fresh start. Sometimes it's like that. Sometimes it just doesn't work out, and you need a fresh start. So I think that might be it with him. Look at Nelson Aguilar. Wait, what? Wait. Hold on. Wait a minute. Wait, what? Wait, hold on. Wait, are you trolling? You got to be trolling. What are you talking about? Gilmore to Washington? Hold on. What? You trolling, ain't you? You got to be trolling, bro. You got to be trolling. Gilmore ain't get traded. What are you talking about? He trolling, man. Don't get out the stream with that. What? That made me stop everything. I had to actually like look at on my phone. Like I'm like I had to look up at Adam Schefter. I looked at that rap sheet. Looked at that Pelissaro. Like I was like, what? But man, I'll get out of here. Which beat reporter? Who? Jeff Howe? I need. Hey, you can't come in here and just say that. I need names. I need Twitters. Who? Which one? Which beat reporter? Which one? Yeah. Put it in the chat. But which beat reporter? Like tell me like who is it? Because some of these reporters I don't believe. If it ain't Mike Reese, Jeff Howe, Tom Curran, or Garofalo, I think that's his name. If it ain't none of them, I don't believe anything that comes out of New England. And if you're getting this from Pro Football Talk, I need some confirmations. John King. This is the Washington beat reporter. I'm looking at his Twitter right now, and I don't see nothing about no Gilmore, bro. I don't see nothing about no Gilmore. That's him talking. That's him talking. I'm done. What's that mean for Asiasa, Keene, Izzo, and Lacoste? I think Izzo. Well, I think a couple of them will be on practice squad. Honestly, I think Izzo. I think Lacoste probably stays. He'll probably be the third active tight end. I think Izzo may be on the practice squad. Izzo or Asiasi, but Keene's probably gone. I hate to say it, but when you got John and Hunter Henry, I mean, at that point, I don't really. the other tight ends can go, honestly. I think Bourne is going to take Harry's spot. No, they said, Kendrick Bourne is more of a slot guy, and the Harry's on the outside. And so Aguilar, he's been playing a lot on the outside in Oakland and everything. So they were saying that Aguilar would challenge N'Keal Harry for that outside spot. Because they'll have Edelman inside too and Bourne inside too. They have Bourne and Edelman on the inside, or Jacoby Myers too. So I know you man can't man his Quest. His team can't spend. His team is actually over the cap, and they have until 4 p.m. today to get under the cap, because if they don't, which they just restructured the Darius Smith deal, so that can help them out. But if they don't get under the cap by the end of the day, draft picks, fines, all that stuff happens. So they don't have enough, but they're supposed to have a championship team. So I mean, typically people who spend money in free agency are the bottom tier teams. Typically, we just had a down year and everything, so we'll be back. But it is what it is, though, man. How you doing, Questa? Hopefully everything's good with you, fam, and the Falcons and everything. Just don't take Justin Fields or one of the receivers, and we'll be all good. We'll be good. But yeah. So Bill Belichick, he just changed the game. Sorry, I'm just looking up some stuff. I gotta send this. But yeah, so it is what it is, man. Let me know your thoughts about free agency. How would you grade this free agency so far? And I think today we should get. I think the two positions that we're probably going to sign today are center and running back. We'll figure out who's going to be our center this year, and we should figure out who's going to be the running back with Damian Harris. Thanks for answering my question. See you next time and go Pats. Yes, sir. Appreciate you, James. But that's going to be it, man. Again, like I said, I'm trying to keep these streams under 30 minutes or so. And again, appreciate everybody coming through, all the questions being asked, man. And again, if we have any big major news, you'll see a stream or video coming up, man. We here. We back. Past Nations, appreciate that. Y'all be easy. Catch you next time, y'all.